most spring-like day here in the UK. Updates on my health. Obviously I still have ME, but it's almost like the NHS really don't give a flying fig about what people already have. All they care about is what they're looking at that day, and if they force people to wait around for hours and hours and not have any chance of pacing or getting a rest or anything like that, they don't care. They really don't care. So my own personal ME, I'm in crash mode on top of crash mode, and there's nothing I can do about it because, well, I've got a reasonably free week this week. I do actually have an appointment tomorrow morning. However, the appointment tomorrow morning is from people from the NHS, and the idea of that appointment is this is part of the NHS that tries to bring all of the disconnection together, because there's cases, even in Northampton where I live, there's cases people have died because one doctor doesn't talk to another doctor, GPs don't talk to hospital doctors, hospital doctors don't talk to GPs. So people have died because they've not seen something that's glaringly obvious. Had they all spoken to each other and gone, oh, that's what's causing it, they've all just treated their own little bit and totally missed what the problem is. In my case at the moment, I've got eye specialists looking at my eyes. I've got hearing specialists looking at my ear, nose and throat. Now, if I give you an example, the eye specialist, when I said to him, I appreciate what they're doing, but I do need to know when I'm going to be able to drive again, because at the moment I'm paying rather a lot of money for a lease car that was just sitting there, because obviously I can't drive. His answer was to just say, well, in that case, just don't take the medication I'll prescribe for you, and he just scribbled it off the prescription. I said, so why did you put it on the prescription if I don't need it? And he said, well, you think driving is more important. I mean, what fucking right, excuse my French, does he have to make that decision? That was never what I said. I simply said, from your expert opinion, when might I be able to drive or not, just so that I can make a decision on whether I keep this car or send it back. I think that was a totally reasonable question. But no, he's thrown a strop, so maybe I'm not using a prescription now that I should be using. That shouldn't happen, should it? Whatever side of bed he got out of bed of that morning shouldn't affect me. But I still have no idea when my eyesight's going to recover. It has recovered. I've noticed changes every few days, every 2 or 3 days. I realise I can see just a little bit more. It's not quite right yet. I'm borderline whether I can drive or not. If it's a nice sunny day like it has been this morning, at the moment the sun is still shining, as you can probably tell. But there's rain clouds up there, so that's going to change. With my hearing, I still can't hear properly. I know what number I used to have the TV at to be able to hear it properly, and it's nowhere near that number now. So it's much higher. And it's not just the volume. A lot of people think, oh, it's just the volume. Turn your hearing aids up. It's the sort of sounds I can hear. I can't hear a full range of sounds. I've got a very, very limited range of what I can hear. So if somebody talks in a low, quiet voice, I won't hear it. Just will not hear it. If somebody talks in a high-pitched voice, I won't hear it. It just sounds like one noise to me. So a low-pitched voice, I'll see if I can do my best. It's and a high-pitched voice is, well, What have you done? Why were you doing this? And it's just like, I can't make anything out of that. I'm quite good at lip reading, and I'm not hearing enough to work with the lip reading to solve my problem. But does anyone care about that? Of course not. You know, people don't really need to hear. It's funny enough, all the people that say that, all the consultants that say that, they've got perfect hearing. Strange, isn't it? But I was told 2 weeks ago that yes, I definitely need new hearing aids. The ones I've got are out of date. The range that they've got is nowhere near enough for what I need. And the hearing aids I'm currently wearing went out of date 7 years ago. You can't believe why I've still got them, because nobody should have them. So 2 weeks ago they said it's going to take at least 6 weeks before I can go and get anything done about that. And the ENT department themselves, they took a MRI of my head, of my sinuses, and they said, well, we'll know from the results of the MRI whether we need to give you injections in your ears, carry on with the steroids that I'm still taking. I'm taking steroids for both my eyes and my sinuses. But anyway, we'll do that in the regular ENT department. So I said to them a logical question, so when will that be? And they laughed and shrugged their shoulders. So I'm guessing probably not this year. So let's just hope the hearing aids do something, because there ain't nothing medical happening. I've had scans on my hip that indicate that I've got dead bone in my pelvis. And that's one of those things that needs rapid treatment, if that's what the case is. But apparently the GP's dealing with that, and I've not heard anything. So hopefully I can bring all these people together. The irony is, when I actually look up in what way could the condition that they're looking for in my legs affect anything else, the first thing it says is it can cause massive infections in the sinuses, which can affect the ear, nose, throat and eyes. Oh dear. But of course the GP doesn't talk to the hospital. So nobody at the hospital has got any clue that what they're treating could be caused by my hip. And why would they? They don't deal with that. But the GP knows, but the GP is not talking to the hospital. So hopefully the meeting tomorrow, who knows, maybe I'll get some joined up thinking moving. I also need some more help in the home. I mean, we're supposed to, in the UK, we're supposed to get occupational therapy that's supposed to come round and see what adaptations we need in the home, and they're supposed to do them for us free of charge. It's all part of what we pay for. But the last time they agreed that they needed to do something, a year later they called me after I spent lots of my own money doing it, because I couldn't wait, I needed it. And when I said, well, I've already done it now, they said, oh, well, that's good then, so you don't need anything, and they hung up. So that went well. But I am still being positive. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do it, but we are planning this trip. 3 generations of us, and I'll let you guess what end of the generation scale I'm at, but it's not the youngest. Going to Japan, Hong Kong and China, although you could argue that Hong Kong is China, but I still see it as different. Because I've got 2 Disney parks that I've not been to in the world. I've been to all of the parks in Florida. I've been to Los Angeles. I have done Hong Kong already, and I've done Disneyland Paris. So it just leaves Tokyo and Shanghai to do. So they'll be done later on this year, probably in November now. And if I can wiggle it, I might nip something else into that trip while we're there. But that's just a little thing I'm thinking about. Hopefully this isn't a very long one. Just a quick update. I don't like leaving people hanging. Thankfully, from what I've seen, what I've got isn't life-threateningly sinister, life-changingly sinister. I'm back to not being able to sleep very long at night now, because as soon as pain relief wears off, I can't sleep, because I can't sleep through the pain, and the pain is ridiculous. I've got pain in my lower back, in my pelvis, and it goes all the way down my leg. And the bit that I can't understand is that my right shin feels like somebody's just hit it with an axe. I use a lot of Nocturnus, I try that. ME, right? You can't say things. Nocturnal, no, still not saying it. Bear with, I'll put my other dictionary on. Nocturnal swear words. There you go. That was complicated, wasn't it? And I'm also in the early stages of learning Japanese as well as Tagalog. I get the feeling I might be more successful in Japanese than I am in Tagalog, which is weird. I don't see why that is, but anyway, we'll give it a go. I'm going to leave it here. If I get any more news, I'll let you know. Otherwise, like and subscribe, please. It really does actually help. I mean, me doing the videos, it doesn't really help me, because when it comes down to it, I know everything that's going on already. I don't need to tell anyone else. But I know when I was early on in my stage of ME, I couldn't find anyone else on YouTube, for example, that was just doing a vlog, as I would call it, of their everyday experiences. It was all sort of medically based, and there's this research here and that research there, and how you need to tell your relatives to deal with it and that sort of thing. And it's all really interesting stuff. But that's not quite the same as letting people into your life and how it affects you on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's important, because somebody else might be early on this and they don't know how you cope. From my point of view, staying positive is the key. As soon as you take the negative route, where you end up is, and excuse the mess, you end up in a place like that, and that becomes your permanent home. That's not going to happen to me. That's only going to become my permanent home when they're about to carry me out in a box. So anyway, I did say I'm going to leave it there, so I shall leave it there. Bye for now. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.